SEC East champion Georgia Bulldogs. That's Billy Preston, nothing from nothing. It is Super Thursday. Chip Lyness and Louie Herron from Louie Herron Toyota talking about automotive. If you'd like to join the conversation, 706-453-4140. Specifically, we're talking about year-end deals. And Louie, it seems way too early to be talking about year-end deals, but it's not. Tomorrow's December, or Saturday is December.
Well, you would think so, and those that call in, we'll give a free oil change as well, just to get your feedback, because we want to know what your thoughts are about year-end deals and how you're going to acquire those year-end deals, and really what's your starting point. You know, when you look at buying a car, you know, my focus for you, the consumer, you know, at least as it relates to doing this show, obviously, is the importance of not making a mistake on buying a car, right? And when you think about mistakes, you're talking about, you know, financial mistakes, money mistakes, or losing money up front versus on a trade down the road, or even losing money on the financing, the rate opportunities with banks or credit unions. And I think the importance of worry-free buying is just huge. And I think when it comes to year-end deals, there's a lot of stuff that's available that you may not even know, and so we want to take the worry and fear out of buying. Now, I will tell you, it is a buyer's market. I mean, it's a buyer's market. Let me tell you what's going on in the car industry in the month of November. Again, I cannot tell you why, but traditionally, Black Friday through December 1st, we rock and roll. I mean, we flat out rock and roll. Although I've looked at the reports this morning with Toyota as a percentage of objective, we typically are 115 to 125% of our objective every single month, and we're sitting at 89% going into just 2 days left in the month. So, but we weren't the only ones. We were like the third highest store in the district.
Wow. So
what's going on out there from Black Friday till now? I don't know. I don't know why people have been reserved, but all I can tell you is when the market tightens up like this, the dealers freak out. People like myself and many others, because really our month is made or it's made or broken in the last week of November and December. Give you a case in point. In December, the first 24 days of the month, the first through Christmas Eve, we probably sell 40 cars. From December 26th to January 2nd, we sell 50 cars.
Wow.
So if we don't make the last week of the month in November or December, your month is shot. Wow. So when that happens, it becomes a severe buyer's market, because dealers, the first thing they've got to do is obviously they've got to make profitability on a car. But if they can't do that, they can't make any money by not moving the inventory. Not only are they not making money, they have to pay the floor plan expense on those cars. So if it's sitting there, that's another expense minus the gross profit they could have made in selling the car. So it's a double whammy. And if you go, and I'll give you a great case in point, if we sell 50 used cars a month, and we stock 80 to sell 50, and this month we're going to sell, it looks like 35, and I've got 80, but I normally sell 50. That's 20 extra cars next month that's going to age on top of what normally would age. So now I go into next month with 50 cars that I've got to liquidate prior to month end, or I'm going to take a loss on the cars, and I'm not the only one. So think about that as a consumer. My goodness. I'm sharing with you something that's relevant at our dealership, and I can tell you, Middle Georgia wide, I talk to a lot of colleagues, a lot of dealers. They're all scared to death right now, trying to find a way to, man, what are we going to do? How are we going to sell these cars? You can't think of enough marketing plans to move inventory when it relates to customers not wanting to pull the trigger. You can have all the marketing plans in the world, but if people are not ready, it doesn't matter. So we want to talk about what you can do and how it's going to benefit you. The first thing, and then we'll go to a break, is we're going to talk about how year-end deals boils down really to a large portion of bonuses and rebates. Now notice I didn't say dealer cash in bonuses. So let's talk about the difference, because there's a huge difference. Now again, here's where my dealer friends get really upset, because in the car industry there's bonus cash, there's dealer cash, and then there's rebates. Dealer cash goes to the dealer. Bonuses or bonus cash goes to the consumer. Rebates goes to the consumer. Well, if you're not aware of the dealer cash, guess what? You don't get the dealer cash. So again, what you have to understand is the dealers realize that if we're not moving the inventory, or it's at this time of year and the cars have to turn, they all of a sudden start offering up dealer cash. Now, let me say this so you don't get overly excited. Dealer cash typically is not $1,500 or $2,000 like the size of rebates, but it's still another $500. Maybe it's $250 on certain cars, or $350. Every penny counts for you, the consumer. So I don't know. You look like you were going to say something.
Well, I have a name for the effect what you were talking about before, about if consumers aren't ready, there's not enough marketing plans to do it. I have a marketing name for that. I call that the denture cream effect, and that is, if you're a drugstore and you put denture cream on sale for 90% off, if you're not wearing dentures, it doesn't matter if it's 100% off.
That's a great point. But here's the thing. There are some of you that are listening right now that are not in the market for an automobile. However, there are some of you that are listening that are. And so when you think to yourself, well, let's just wait and see about the fiscal cliff and the economics and the policies and, you know, kids going back to school and Christmas, and hey, I got all that. And those are all relevant facts. But I can tell you that if you really want to steal a deal and have a phenomenal opportunity to save some money, commit yourself to a 3 or 4 or 5 year note on a car and really save yourself some funds, whether it's Honda, Chevrolet, Hyundai, Kia, Toyota, it doesn't really matter. Every dealer is going through this, and so you need to understand that there is bonuses, there are rebates, dealer cash, and customer bonus cash that's on the table. So where do you go to find this information? Again, go to theautoschool.com. It outlines everything. If you lose sight and don't go there, you can go to KBB, you can go to NADA.com, you can go to cars.com, you can go to truecars.com, you can go to a plethora of websites. They will identify for you the special interest rates, they'll identify for you the cash back, the bonuses, the bonus cash that's available, as well as the dealer cash. These are things you've got to know. So we're going to get into our next point when we come back, talking about how this aged inventory plays in your favor. And I got to tell you some things, because when you realize the expense on the dealer side, I promise you, when you look at what we've got to write a check for to the manufacturer for a floor plan on these cars versus what we have to really do in form of a discount to you, it's a no-brainer. We want the deal. So you need to stay tuned, because there's something you need to know about this inventory and how it can help you save a ton of money.
I got you. Okay, Louie. That's what makes you real, because, you know, you're not making any pretense. You want them to come in. You'd like them to come into Louie Herron Toyota, but you're talking about all car dealers.
All car dealers. It doesn't matter.
If there's a deal to be had, everybody's making deals.
That's right. It's a phenomenal time. Truly is, and really these next 6 weeks is going to be. And I'll tell you, remind me when we come back from the break to talk about the week before Christmas, because there's something that nobody has a clue about the week before Christmas, which is not what I said earlier about the 26th through January 2nd, the week before. So remind me.
All right, we'll tease them with that. Please stay with us. If you'd like to join the conversation, 706-453-4140 or store